We want to welcome you to Chromatica.
We'd like to welcome you.
Welcome to Chromatica.
Chromatica.
Yes.
Chromatica. Wait, what's that? Wait,
Mm,
what's that from? Which is
Chromatica is a feeling.
no. When Lady Gaga says like it's from Art Pop. Jupiter. Yeah,
Venus,
it's
yeah.
Jupiter. Chromatica.
Mars. Now it's
Mercury.
Wow.
Venus. Who?
Earth served for the stars.
How's everyone doing today?
We're doing good. Levi, how are you doing?
I'm once again proving why I am tied for first and the best Emma Stone fan of Chicago because I literally grow Emma Stones inside of my kidneys.
Yeah.
I think I have two right now, pulsating their ways through my bladder, and it is bad. It's a bad time to be alive in Levi land. But you know what? I'm getting powered through by the power of music and the power of Chromatica. The kindness is just radiating in my veins.
The sine waves are coursing
I'm li-
through your
I'm
veins.
no, I'm literally getting like Chromatica chemotherapy for my stones right now.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We need Miss Frizzle to like shrink down and figure out what's
Yes.
going on inside you right now.
First of all, get your ass up and work.
Miss
Like,
Frizzle in the
nobody wants
Chromatica
to work
plane.
these days.
Miss Frizzle's retired. I don't care. We need her.
Um, okay, before we start, when are we gonna talk about the tribes? Are we gonna do you have that planned?
Um, Not necessarily, but I did want to bring it up because so much of Chromatica that we'll get into, I feel like, isn't necessarily like abandoned concepts, but like the evolution of concepts because obviously because Chromatica came out in 2020, COVID happened and a lot of the album rollout that was planned for Chromatica got either completely changed or scrapped. So there's a lot of concepts that start off the era that are nowhere to be found at the end of the era, which is really interesting.
I just think that we
I
should talk
think
about like
every concept.
what tribe we are. And do you want to do that before we get into anything or like when we're talking about the album?
Well, let's just do it now because I feel like it's fun.
Okay, Drew, what tribe are you? A Chromatica tribe.
What's the like government one?
Government official.
Yeah, I feel like I'm that. Don't you
So,
agree?
Yeah.
yeah, Drew's government official. I'm pretty sure I said I was a kindness punk because yes, right? Or was Levi a kindness?
No,
I
I'm an
feel like
eco warrior.
Oh yeah,
yeah, Levi's an eco warrior.
I'm an eco warrior.
wait, let me pull up the list of the
We
tribes.
need to post that on the Pop Girlies story in case
We
The
need to
the
tribes,
pull.
locals don't know what we're talking
Yes.
about.
the locals, meaning my mom.
Chromatica
Oh.
tribes. So we've got the freedom fighters,
Yeah, the freedom
the
fighters.
government officials, kindness punks, junkyard scavengers, cyber kids, and eco warriors.
I feel like Alex, my boyfriend, is a cyber kid
Yes,
because he
because he's a
always
You
gamer.
also could be the first one, Levi. What was the first one?
freedom fighter.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you are such an
I
eco
I
warrior.
think I'm an eco warrior. I think that's my number one. Freedom
Yeah,
fighters. I think my top three is probably like eco warrior.
your holy trinity
Uh,
of the Chromatica tribes.
yeah, okay. I would say I'm like an eco warrior sun, a kindness punk moon, and maybe a freedom fighter rising.
100%.
Whoa. Something that's funny also about the Chromatica lore of it being like a planet and there being tribes is I don't think there's like an official like map of Chromatica, but I'm pretty sure someone made one and then everyone just like takes that one as fact. Because that's the thing also about Chromatica is that it's like so rich in lore and it's like how far do you as the listener personally take the concept album of it all? You know, it's like do I listen to this understanding that like oh I'm supposed to envision Chromatica as like a real place or is it just an album? You know what I mean?
Well, because chromatic is a feeling and it's also a
And
place.
it's also yeah.
It's
And Chromatica will never really be over.
it unfortunately.
No.
It's like a cold that you can't shake.
Chromatica's oh
Oh, guess it's never really over. So, hot tracks?
Yar.
so Levi, do you want to go first?
Sure. I actually feel like we always say that Maria never goes first, and I actually feel like I never go first now because now
I feel like Maria always goes first now.
yeah, because like the last like three episodes we've been like Maria, you never go first, and now it's like I can't remember a time that Maria didn't go first.
It's
So
like Maria's so greedy.
yeah, you're literally so greedy. You're so great. It's like, you know that one tweet of an eagle carrying a deer?
Oh, no.
Like an eagle caught a deer and was flying away with it, like a big deer flying in the sky. And it was like just fat and greedy. That's you with hot tracks and always going first.
Because I demand to go. Basically,
You demand to go. Before we press record, Maria holds us at gunpoint and goes, "You have to let me go first in hot tracks."
I have to go first, mine's going to be the best track and it's the most important, and I'm
Yeah.
everyone's favorite, so I have to go first.
Mine's gonna be the best. Let me talk about yacht rock for a second.
Hey, I'm here to educate.
She's like, here's this band that y'all never heard about. Let me talk real quick.
Yeah, you're handing us spoonfuls of information.
I'm using the round edges of a spoon to gather and present
Well,
information.
I'm a knife. I need to cut you down with my
I
sharp.
have a bunch of little prongs.
Okay, so my hot track, my Swiftyism is just through the roofs right now. I am like speaking in Swifty tongues. It is really severe at the moment for me. Uh, I have just really been in an elevated status
Whoa.
of
Status.
Swiftyism.
Ooh.
Really, I mean, I'm just so grateful that God made me a Swiftie. Just out of all the things he could have made me, like a sports fan or like a criminal, like that I was given the ability to be a Swiftie is just really beautiful. Um, and I've been really feeling it since the end of the Eras tour. And so there's so many Taylor songs I've been listening to on repeat. I am gonna do the one though that like has just made me like genuinely. Do you guys have songs that, and this is an exaggeration, that you actually get chills every single time you listen to them?
Yeah.
Because for me, the last like few weeks, that has been Long Live. Every single time I listen to Long Live, I get chills.
Hmm.
And the studio version, the live versions, like anything, when I listen to Long Live, like that key change at the end when she's telling me that she's had the time of her life fighting dragons with me, I'm just like, this is Swiftyism. Like, this is what it means to be a Swiftie. And like, it's just like it's so special. I love that song. I think I don't know. That song is so representative to me of like what makes her so special, like that connection that she has with her fans. Like there aren't a lot of artists I can think of that have a song like that for their fans. And like, you know,
Yeah.
that's about celebrating this like really beautiful special connection that they formed together, and like it's not about her accomplishments, it's about our accomplishments. Like it's I think it's a very generous song. It makes me weep every time I
Well,
listen.
and it's so cool that she wrote it so early too in her career. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
album
because it's
three,
like,
she wrote something like that.
because not only is it like celebratory of like, it can be celebratory of all the things she's accomplished, but because it came so early, it's also incredibly nostalgic. So
Yeah.
it's like this like kind of interesting mix, which is also like very just kind of reflective of like where she is in her career right now, where she's figured out a way to like combine being a like currently successful artist who puts out successful new albums while also being a legacy act via the Taylor versions.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a perfect song to represent, where she's at in her career, and I just find it very special. So yeah, mine is Long Live right now.
Love.
Hand hearting it up. I'm gonna pick Maria.
Are you sure? Would it be greedy for me to go second?
Greedy. No.
Ooh. Okay. So I'll go next. So my hot track is going to be from one of my favorite live albums ever. And it's something that like because it's mostly instrumental, it really helps me get into the zone when it comes to work or like just going about my day. It's just like a really good song. Or like the entire album is just really great for like productivity, but it's also so fun to just like have a great time too. So it's from the live Daft Punk album from 2007. And Drew, don't roll your eyes. This is an education. So maybe you can listen to some new Daft Punk and open your ears to something new. Okay.
Okay.
So it's going to be a song from the 2007 Alive album by Daft Punk. And it's because that whole album's live, it's like a big live set. All the songs are mashups and they all blend into each other. So it's the mashup of Television Rules the Nation slash Crescendos. So good and so fun.
Christian Dolls,
Yeah, that's what the song's called.
like DOLL.
DOLLS. Crescendos.
Crescendos. Well, as a
Girl.
Swiftie, I have Daft Punk PTSD.
Yeah.
From when Yoko Ono decided to traumatize every
Random access
random Access
memories.
memories when they were announcing Album of the Year at the 2014
Oh,
Grammys.
right.
I literally jumped up from my couch, started screaming, and then realized she didn't win and broke into tears and cried myself to sleep.
And somehow that's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's freaking it's stupid Yoko Ono.
Yeah, it's Yoko Ono's fault.
Girl, there's no E.
Random
It's
access.
not no,
Wow.
random.
She knew what she was doing.
I just don't know why she did that. I just found it very rude.
Ours can be short too. Random.
Yeah, random.
Like how New Yorkers don't pronounce H's.
The thing is, it's like you're not actually revving up a car.
Like,
when you're talking
huge.
about it.
Well, maybe she thought she was building the hype, and maybe she didn't know that Red was nominated.
Oh, so that's Red Shade.
No, I'm
So
just
she
saying.
didn't. So she didn't know that the most
Maria's
successful
giving
album
a bunch
of
of
the
shade.
category was nominated.
No, maybe she's just old, so I don't know.
Okay, why does Yoko Ono hate Taylor Swift? That's what you're saying. She's an anti.
Right. Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything else to say about your dolls?
Nope, that's my song.
Crescendos.
It's Daft Punk. Get into it. That's it.
Get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, my hot track is I was having kind of a hard time because I wasn't really listening to a lot of new music, but I was working from home and I was like, I'm gonna listen to an album that I haven't listened to all the way through. And so I listened to Emails I Can't Send Forward today.
Forward.
I know, very brave of me. But my favorite, I actually really liked it. But my favorite song that I'll just highlight as my hot track is Vicious. You guys
You
know
like
that
that
song?
one. You like that one. You really do. I know you
I
do.
love Vicious. Do you not like that one?
No, I do.
Oh, okay, okay.
You talk about it all the time.
You do.
This is about you. It's not about me. I had my moment. This is your moment. Have it.
Have it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I
Okay,
haven't heard that, so
Maria.
I'll have to listen to it.
It's so good.
T. Forward.
You're so
Dude, is
vicious.
Heather on Forward?
Yeah, it's a forward track.
It's a Forward song.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
It's not, didn't make the cut.
It's not
Did it make the OG cut?
it's not an OG email.
No.
She forwarded it.
It
So she
wasn't
didn't
even
even-
CC'd.
Oh my God. She was forwarded the email.
It should have been emails
Yeah,
I can't
that says a
send.
lot.
Okay, the other thing I want to talk about that too. Okay, Sabrina Carpenter. Is Sabrina Carpenter as old as us? Like, I just need her age for a second.
She's older than us, I think.
Sabrina Carpenter is 25. Well, so she's basically she's mine.
Literally
Find
our
something
age.
to Levi.
Yeah, she's a couple months older than me because she was born in May. Her birthday's in May 99. Sabrina Carpenter, we don't communicate in emails. So I don't believe that you're sending any emails because you text people. We text, we DM, we FaceTime, we call. We don't email.
I kind of like the email concept.
I don't because I don't believe it. I just don't think she does. I don't think she emails anyone. And I love so many things about her, but that decision I find stupid and dumb because we don't email people. Because when she goes emails I can't send, I don't think you're sending them.
Right.
Like personal emails. I'm sure she sends business emails, but like
Yeah.
a personal former romantic paramour. I
It's
don't think she
messages I can't send.
it's I mean
It should have been letters I can't.
it should have been letters because if we're gonna do something that like isn't because like emails to me is like too like tied to a specific period to really work, but like letters, like anybody writes letters. Letters are kind of
Yeah.
timeless. Letters have existed for a long time. It should have been letters I can't send. It should have
Yes.
been letters I can't
Because
send. Yeah.
I think around the time that people would have been emailing each other, you also would have been able to like I am somebody, you know?
Yeah, IMs I can't send.
I feel like that's not what she wasn't going for letters. Like I feel like you're right in that she was going for like text messages, but it wasn't cool.
Well,
And
nothing
didn't
is cool with
present a concept.
yeah, I just think that everything about that I would have been like on Sabrina's team. I've been like, Sabrina, I really hear you, but here's
Maybe she just could have named it after one of the tracks.
I mean, maybe
Like,
she would have
maybe because I liked a boy.
Yeah,
That would
that
be
would have
a
been
good album
wow. Can you
title.
imagine that title? Because I liked a boy.
See though, see though, Levi,
The hell was that? Were you doing a mating
that
call?
was me agreeing with you.
You was
I went, No, but Levi, how you feel about emails is how I feel about department.
Oh, don't bring that.
Oh,
I'm just
let's move
trying.
on.
I'm just trying to validate what I said last week as being an okay opinion to have.
Okay,
Chromatica about
well,
to
maybe
get
let's
some
move on.
terrorism.
Oh my God, girl with the violence. We
Explosion in Chromatica.
Yeah, explosion. You wanted the violence to stay at the department? Well, you just open up the department doors. The snipers are boarding
Oh
JFK airport
no,
right
the
now to go to
snipers.
Chromatica.
No, Levi, you cannot.
I sent them.
The violence and the snipers are back to Pop Girlies
Yeah,
Nation.
and their first order, eradicate every kindness punk.
No,
If there was like an evil Chromatica tribe, what would it be called?
government officials.
Government officials, yeah. Like the opposite of a kindness punk, a hatred queen.
I think somehow it would have to feed into like the brutalist architecture of the
Oh,
Chromatica.
Oh, the
100%.
brutalist architecture.
This set is inspired by brutalist architecture.
That was such a disappointment looking at Twitter that day. Well, because like I'm not saying it was bad because I actually do think it's good, but just
Okay.
expecting something else.
What were you expecting?
Like the whole
Like
planet kind of thing, right?
like every other visual and concept she had presented thus far. Like I was expecting, Chromatica. I wasn't expecting
He was
early
expecting a
trailer for
ninth
the new
planet to
Adrian Brody
appear.
film, The Brutalist. Like that's just not what I was expecting.
Right. Well,
Well,
Mother knows best, to be honest. I think she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Because I will say, when the Chromatica Ball film was coming out earlier this year, she said that the look and feel and the vibe of the Chromatica Ball is going to segue perfectly into LG7 era. So I feel like there are aesthetics and concepts and yada yada from the Chromatica Ball that are going to show up in the next era. So it's all very intentional and perfect.
I hope the next Gaga era is like light blue and fluffy.
yeah, like what if the new album is called like Cloud Pink?
It's Ariana Grande Cloud.
Oh, which I have a bottle of in the
Ooh.
Oh,
bathroom.
no way, really?
Yes, and I love it. I went to the coffee shop the other day and the little barista was like, "What is that? You smell so good." And I was like, "It's Ariana Grande Cloud." And then the manager of the coffee shop, who was a skip and a toss behind her, was like, "Oh, my best friend wears Ariana Grande Cloud. I thought you were my best friend." And I was like, "Well, I can be." Because the Ariana Grande Cloud, yeah, the Ariana Grande Cloud, everybody loves it. Everyone loves it. The packaging's beautiful. Besides Wicked, it's the best thing she's ever done, probably.
Whoa.
That's not true.
That's a big opinion.
That's not.
Let's get into
That's not true. It's
Chromatica.
not true, dude. It's not true. It's not true. I just like to be inflammatory sometimes.
Which, like, speaking of perfumes, though, Sabrina Carpenter just came out with Me Espresso perfume
Yeah,
with like her
so
line.
good.
But
Have you smelt it, Drew?
No,
Oh,
but
I would,
it's like such a good idea.
I would love
yeah.
to smell it, but there's some weird notes in there, and someone reviewed it and said that it smelled like grape soda.
Oh, I love the bottle. It looks like
It's the blue one.
a candy.
Yeah, they look like
Yeah, it looks
worms.
so
So
cool.
cute. But I want to smell it so
Wait,
bad.
what did somebody say it smelled like?
Someone said that on the first spray it smelled like grape soda.
Okay, well, that's actually kind of a serve for me. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
lie. I like
But the notes are kind of crazy. But what I am not a big fan of is like, I don't know why there's like these floral notes in it. And then caramel drizzle is like, that's way too much.
Oh, this is kind of an interesting
Because all of her
espresso
perfumes,
green, cappuccino, smell the taste.
Maria, do you read every note on a
Cocoa
perfume before
powder,
you buy it?
night blooming
yes.
jasmine, vanilla orchid,
Come on.
biscotti, caramel drizzle, sugared amber, whipped cream. I actually think that I would love that.
Yeah, I have
It's sexy, sweet, and feminine.
Yes. Yeah, I have a perfume collection.
But I know,
I
but you read before you even like smell it.
Yes, I like to know how like a perfumery or like a perfume house is going to like advertise their scent to me.
Okay.
And but it's
Okay.
like the notes is like what's in the perfume. Like that's how you find out what it smells like is reading the notes.
Well, what does the bottle look like? This is the bottle.
Yeah.
So where
the,
does it come out of?
so the top half of so these perfumes look like chocolate bars and the top like couple rows of them
Oh,
come
do they
off,
come off
and
and
that's
then
the cap, and then
okay.
underneath is the spritzer.
I'm gonna have to say it. I really like that.
Yeah, and all of her perfumes are gourmands, and gourmand, like a gourmand scent means that it's like a scent that is edible. Or like not that the scent is edible, but it is designed to smell like something that is edible, which usually like gourmands end up being like very sweet
Oh, I
perfumes.
would like that. I like food
Yeah.
scents. I love food scents.
So yeah, and also for those who are curious, if you're reading notes on perfumes and if you ever see something that says like something accord or like I don't know, like if something on here were to say like espresso accord or something, that means that it's a synthetic fragrance that was created to smell like something that is like there isn't a natural essence of it.
I want to try the cherry one.
Yeah.
Cherry. Who's
She has
cherry?
a cherry one called Cherry Baby.
Oh, these are all her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, when she did that Cherry Baby one, she did a little like sizzle reel for it, and it was Twin Peaks themed.
Is this an
Yes.
old one? Is Cherry Baby old?
I think it came out earlier this year.
This is oh, this one sounds good.
Yeah, this one does sound really good.
And then what's
That one's caramel, and
caramel
then I think the
cream?
pink one is just like sweetness. Like I'm not sure if it has I mean, I think it's just like plain old vanilla or something like that.
Sparkling bergamot. What is that? Bergamot.
Bergamot is
What
a
is that?
type of citrus.
Oh,
Everyone is like logged out of the podcast.
Everyone's like, I thought we were going to Chromatica. But hey, you learned more things about perfumery than you ever thought you
they never
would.
did before.
So there you go.
Okay,
But yeah,
is it
let's,
time to board?
yeah, we're boarding the
Maria.
plane to Chromatica. We ready to go. Everyone has their boarding pass.
Yeah, here's my passport right here.
Levi's actual.
Imagine if I just gave it like a magenta pink stamp.
It's the sine wave.
It's the sign way.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's get into it. Get ready. Chromatica. So, let's do some album background. Pulling up my notes. So, Chromatica.
I just saw. Wait? I just saw on her camera roll the picture of Glenn Close.
Picture of Glenn. Okay, homework
For
for
the
everyone.
Homework
land.
for all the pop girlies. Watch Glenn Close national anthem.
Try not to laugh.
It's the
Try,
best thing.
try not to laugh challenge impossible.
For the land.
For the land.
of the free. Free.
Wait, you just did it perfectly.
So
That was she just
Glenn Close. She was just in this room. I felt it.
Wait, you literally, I cannot wait to listen to that back. You literally did it perfectly. And you actually cracked.
Oh wait, I can't be laughing like this. My kidneys hurt.
Oh,
Oh
my
no, that was good.
That was awesome.
Oh my god.
I'm never trying to do it ever again.
It can't be done. It can't be topped.
Oh my god, now that I'm on the
It was stuck on Maria's phone. It was trying to get up.
Glenn was stuck on my phone. Oh my god.
No, anybody who wants a new reaction picture, literally say anything and then have that accompanying it. And it's the funniest text in the world.
I have to post it on the story so that people can save it. Oh.
Ugh.
And okay. So, album sequencing of Lady Gaga albums. This is LG6. As you know, infamously during this era, I think we said it last week, the famous Lady Gaga tweet, yeah, I'm pregnant with LG6.
No. Rumors I'm pregnant? Question mark. Yeah, I'm pregnant with LG6.
Okay, that's so embarrassing. You didn't even know it.
I know that's really
So
embarrassing.
embarrassing. You're getting kicked out of Chromatica.
Should we just stop?
Deportation.
Let's just stop. Okay. JK. So, LG6 is Chromatica. In Lady Gaga album sequencing, this comes after Joanne, which is LG5, but this comes after A Star is Born soundtrack, if you want to be super technical about it. So this is LG6. This was released on May 29th, 2020, and it was originally supposed to come out on the way you're looking at
I
me
do.
was like scaring me. Oh my gosh. Levi started scaring me for a second. I was like,
Well, I'm
I
looking at you intently.
well, yes, because now I'm like, well, what if I say something wrong?
Uh, okay, I won't look at you. I'll look away. I'll
Okay.
look at Kirby.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. So originally though, Chromatica was supposed to come out on March 2nd, 2020, but it was pushed back because of COVID, because of multiple philanthropic endeavors that Gaga was doing in the support of COVID relief and etc. So it got pushed back a little bit, which I will add, I think also paved the way for Future Nostalgia being as big as it was, because then it didn't really have any big albums that it was competing with. Because I think Future Nostalgia still came out in like the early springtime.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
So
I did.
I watched the live stream when it got leaked and she was
When
crying.
she cried, yeah, I was also watching.
that's why Radical Optimism tanked though, because there was no live where she was crying.
Well, yeah. She needs to suffer in order to thrive.
Yeah. It's like you talking about Taylor last week. She needs to be in the chaos in order to make the work.
She does. She does. Nobody wants a Taylor Swift album where she's acting sane and making good decisions. Nobody wants that. I'm sorry
Exactly.
they don't.
Exactly.
Right.
You might think that you do, but you actually don't.
Period. So, Chromatica has a 79 out of 100 on Metacritic. And Pitchfork gave it a 7.3 out of 10. And notable producers for Blood Pop, or oh my god, notable producers for Chromatica. Number one, Blood Pop, which is Levi's least favorite person to ever produce an album. Some
True.
and some might say. Skrillex also produced Plastic Doll.
Skrillex.
Yeah, which is so crazy. I learned that through research. So that's cuckoo crazy. Collaborations on Chromatica, Elton John, Ariana Grande, and Blackpink.
Wait, can I add something?
Yes.
Also interesting, it's the first time that she's ever worked with Max Martin because Max Martin is a producer on Stupid Love,
Oh,
which
right.
is I always think it's interesting when like I mean because obviously Max Martin to me is like kind of the titan of all pop
God.
producers.
Yeah.
I mean he is he's a pop god and it's always interesting when like pop stars finally end up working with him. You know, people who've kind of like not avoided, but just like not worked with him for like a large part of their career. I mean, because like Gaga's obviously like one of the great hit makers of the 21st century, and so I just always find it fascinating when like that like finally happens, and like he finally works with somebody of that level. It's just interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So something I want to say before we get into some like more specifics about the album is like I think and with the consideration that this album came out during COVID and was so had to deal with so many like unprecedented obstacles. And obviously with that, this album era just became so long. Like 2024 is like the last year of like Chromatica era, which makes this era 4 years long. Um, and it's just kind of crazy. But with that, and with all the obstacles that I think this era has had to endure because of that, with all that into consideration, there I think are so many high points as far as like promotion and marketing for Chromatica because there's so much craziness, and I think it even lends itself to us being like, well, what's your favorite like like marketing activation of Chromaticas? Because there's so many funny ones.
Well, the reason it lasted so long was because it takes 4 years to digest the Chromatica Oreos.
Yes. Yeah, they
We're
were
just
just
now digesting.
yeah, they've been in my system.
Maybe that's what's giving me the stone.
Oh God, did you eat the Chromatic
I
Oreos?
ate the Chromatic Warriors. They went down
I
a
did too.
Yeah, I did too.
I didn't because they're not gluten free.
Oh,
I had
okay.
the green cream.
The nuclear waste in the middle
The
of the
nuclear waste,
Chromatica
the
Oreo.
toxic waste, yeah. But I didn't have like the pink sand dune crackers.
And literally, my mom will be able uh to testify to this because I was living at my parents' house at the time because of COVID, and we were like Instacarting all of our groceries, and I'm like, "Hey, can I see the order before you place it?" I was like, kept at all the stores see if they would have the chromatic Oreos, and then they kept just giving us normal packs of Oreos until once I was actually victorious and got a package of the chromatic Oreos, and I was so excited about it. So that was such
I
a
got them at the Loyola Target.
Love.
I think Alex and I got them at the Wilson Target. I think that's where we
Oh
ended.
yeah,
They might still be there if we're lucky.
in the
Girl.
back somewhere.
They're in the back somewhere. I just know it.
You
Someone's
know,
got
some little monster that worked there in 2020 hid them so that they could take them home.
yeah. But yeah, there's so many marketing campaigns and such that were tied into the Chromatica era. Obviously, the Oreos. At the time, House Labs, which is Gaga's makeup brand, was House Laboratories because within the last couple of years they did a big rebrand and a uh complete transformation of the brand. It was repositioned in a completely different sector of the makeup industry. So the brand is completely different. At the time, it used to be called House Labs. I'm pretty sure at the time she also did like a Stupid Love eyeshadow palette or something to that extent. So there's something in that realm. There's also, which in 2024, speaking of Chromatica's Never Over, there was a Fortnite festival.
It
I
was
don't know how
never.
Fortnite works.
Oh, that Fortnite. I thought you were about to give Torture Poet promo. I was like, Fortnite!
Right. Yes. But yeah, there was like Fortnite, the video game. There was something in there. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Well, because she has a skin.
She has a skin in Fortnite, which they just gave her a new one, I think, because they announced something Fortnite related at the Game Awards last week because I was watching it like I do every year, like I mentioned earlier on the podcast. But yeah, there was like some Fortnite thing, and then it was Gaga next to the Weeknd's Fortnite skin, and then the Weeknd posted on Instagram of him and Gaga's Fortnite skins. So everyone's like, the Weeknd is going to have a feature on LG7, which people have been saying for a while, but that kind of is just adding to the rumors of it all. But there's something. Little fun fact. But with that, and I think with Gaga being such a visual artist, I also want to mention that the music videos are Stupid Love, Rain on Me, and 911. And I remember very vividly when the Stupid Love video came out. I was like jumping up and down, so excited. But that one kind of gets memed on because it's infamously filmed on an iPhone.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. I love how that one looks. I think it looks so fucking
It
cool.
does look good.
Because I love how flat it looks. It's like purposeful because of like so much of the imagery and aesthetics of Chromatica is lifted from like 90s cheesy like genre shows. Like it's like so like Power Rangers, like that kind of vibe. And like the kind of the flatness that the iPhone camera gives to all the images and the way that they like color graded it,
Mhm.
like the mountains like look almost like orange behind her, like in
Yeah.
especially like in that first scene, you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yes. Yeah, it's like everything's very saturated.
yes, and
Yeah.
it looks flat like in an interesting way.
Right.
Um yeah, fuck the haters on that one because
Yeah.
I think that's a serve to me.
Yeah. I like it. I love the Stupid Love choreo too.
I do too.
It's so good.
And I love that like one of my favorite things that she does is like when she thinks that she's being profound when like there's actually nothing profound happening because like you can tell that she thought there was this like really big elaborate story going on in a Stupid Love video with all the tribes and then there's no explanation for any of the tribes and
Exactly.
they're literally just doing dances in like
Exactly.
different
It's
locations.
like, are they fighting? Like they're kind of
Like
fighting each
they're
other.
kind of fighting, but then like what
There's an
is
exposition too at the
there?
beginning
Yes, there
with the
is,
yeah.
and then there's like the tease because like at the time like there's the tease because when the single was first released, the album wasn't announced, and so
Right.
there's the
Right.
tease of like the Chromatica like thing at the end. I it's that's Gaga at her at best
Yeah.
when she's so deep in it and she thinks she's giving some kind of profound statement, and it literally is just people in Power Rangers cosplay dancing in a desert.
Yeah. Speaking of which, this adds to the collection of Gaga videos where it's the landscape is a desert. So there are so many like
Mm.
endless Gaga music videos where they take place in a desert. And I think uh Disease, well, I mean, Rain on Me isn't in a desert, but 911 and Stupid Love are in a desert. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of Joanne videos in deserts. There's a couple from Born This Way. So it's like there's so many. So everyone's like, finally, lead single music video. And she's
Well,
not in a
couldn't you
desert.
also say that like the Jai one is also like the start of it is in a desert
Yeah,
with the
I would say
wings?
so. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
when she's
It's like a
the
barren
angel, it's a
landscape.
barren landscape, and I would, look that up. The
Best
dictionary
one in
people.
the desert, Perfect Illusion.
Oh, worst music video ever. Million Reasons.
Oh, I
Well,
mean,
yes.
I thought you were about to say it was Perfect
No,
Illusion.
Perfect Illusion video is awesome.
I was gonna get really scared.
It's like one of the best.
It's
I
one of her best, yeah. I think
has
it's
to be
easily the
top
best one
three.
from Joanne. Top three, I don't know if I agree with
Oh
you.
yeah, Maria loves the John Wayne.
I love the John Wayne video.
Okay.
She get Maria started on John Wayne. She will literally talk about it for like
Well, it's so funny
500
because I
hours.
think I'm probably the Joanne Warrior in this podcast, but John Wayne's a song that like isn't big for me.
Oh
It's
girl,
good, but
Maria.
it's not.
Play John Wayne in a club, Maria will ascend.
Wasn't it when we were at the Chromatica ball night and then I was talking to a friend and then John Wayne started playing. You guys were like, Maria, get over here. But yeah, love John Wayne. But yes, so music videos, wanted to take a pit stop there. For Grammys, Chromatica received a nomination for Best Pop Vocal Album and won Best Pop Duo slash Group Performance with Rain on Me, and it was the first female collaboration to ever win that award. So that's a
Do
cool fun
you
fact.
guys remember how mad the BTS fans were?
Oh
Yes.
my God.
Good
All
bit.
of the dislikes on the
There are two things that I look for all the time I can never find. There's this one GIF of these like women in like a living room watching like BTS merch, watching, waiting for them to be announced as the winners, and then they aren't announced, and they all just like go, they all get deflated. And then have you guys heard like I think it was someone doing a live on Twitter, and then they're like, Lady Gaga, I am going to beat your ass. You are satanic.
No, the best is the one when when they like spliced the video of Gaga like meditating on Instagram Live when everyone thought that she had died, and then Ariana trying to get a hold of her on Twitter. Like we're going, Gaga, are you awake? Like, come on, because I think she was filming House of Gucci, right?
Yeah, she's filming House of Gucci.
Yeah.
She's meditating. She's died.
She's
So funny. Also, I know like during this era too, they Ariana and Gaga did something with the Weather Channel.
yes, the thing,
Yes,
the
so
pool,
funny.
really
So
funny.
funny. And they had so many like funny Twitter exchanges back and forth, like throughout Chromatica promo too. Like so funny. But yeah, so kind of talking a little bit more about like the substance of the album itself. I mean, obviously we kind of already referenced a little bit that it's a concept album. I mean, and I personally would take the concept of it being a concept album like a little bit more loose. On the album cover itself, she's like kind of behind a sine curve, and that the concept of the sine curve comes up a couple times throughout the album, in a couple different songs, but it's essentially there to symbolize the importance of music throughout her life and her career and how it has like really shaped her as a person. So that's kind of that like pillar of Chromatica, I would say. But the the bulk of the album really is Gaga navigating through a lot of different struggles in her life, whether it be you know, mental illness or just any sort of struggles, or it's a lot kind of that speaks to just different you know, like struggles throughout her personal life. So it is deeply personal in that way, but it is kind of taking that sadness or struggle or complication and transforming it into like a growth to be celebrated in a way. I think it really is like championing those parts of you that like are maybe darker or sadder and transforming something into something that you can be proud of or something that you can use to create happiness or something to celebrate that wasn't there before. Like I think Chromatica's like it's a very transformative album in that way because as you listen to the lyrics, it's all again like very deeply personal but like sad. Like a lot of the lyrics on here are really sad and they're like very revealing, I feel. But
Well, and
again, it's
it's transformative, but it's also a huge return to form for
right.
her, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like as far and I guess it's so funny because actually Drew gave me his Chromatica poster that he has because he ordered it and Gaga was supposed to sign it and then she never signed it and then Drew never put it on
She
his
just
wall.
never signed it, so they just sent the poster.
Yeah, they just sent it and I'm very grateful to Drew because he gave it to me. So
And
it's
it
on
was
my
like a year and a half after I had bought it. So it was like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and she was probably on set for House of Gucci the whole time.
Well, she had her psychiatric nurse with her. The
Yeah,
psychiatric
she had her psychiatric nurse.
She
decided to
was
make
writing
her.
essays about panthers and lions, so they were like,
Not
well,
essays, a biography.
Books. The
yes,
books.
right, dissertations. So yeah, but that I think is really like the emotional core of Chromatica
Yeah.
is the lyrics. I am so grateful to the Chromatica era because it literally produced an infinite amount of quotes that we say all the time. Like not only things that she said at the Chromatica ball, but just like other random things that are just so funny to quote. And something that Drew and I quote all the time, which like she told basically at every show when she sat down for her piano set was like, I didn't want to make this album. I was in such a dark place and my
I
friends
was
were
just
like,
smoking cigarettes
Gaga.
on my porch.
I was smoking cigarettes on the porch. My friend said, Gaga, come downstairs. We want to make a dance record. And she's like, no, I don't want to. So she would tell this story like
They don't get me. I'm so sad. And they just said, get off your fucking porch and let's go to the basement and make a dance record.
yes. So yeah, it's just like so iconic for so many reasons. There are so many things to quote, but yeah, that is really the emotional center of it. Sorry, I just dropped my phone.
She's throwing her phone at
I'm
me.
throwing things everywhere, as if you aren't already going through enough.
I know. I need to suffer more.
So that's kind of like the background though. But yeah, loose concept album, if you will. There are three interlude tracks, Chromatica 1, 2, and 3, which yeah, they make the album flow, which is really cool.
Well, and that transition became a huge meme. The transition of Chromatica 2 into
Into
911
911. Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a huge kind of viral moment.
Yes. So yeah, Drew and I at the Chromatica Ball, she played 911 in Chicago at 9:11 p.m.
Oh, that's good.
So
Yeah.
that was one for the books for sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, and also you have to talk about this huge era, right? And then the tour, she did stadiums, but then the tour ended.
Yeah. So I can't. Do you remember what city it ended in?
Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, it ended in Miami, and there was a crazy, crazy storm, and they had to end the show early because I can't remember if it got postponed.
No,
Really?
it was ended because it was last night of the tour.
Well, yeah, but I can't
Like postponed like in the day. Like
postponed and then started.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they tried to get her to go on before the storm.
Yeah.
hmm.
But I think it started raining during the show though, and then they were like, we have to stop the show. And she was in the towards the end of the piano set, which she didn't do Angel Down at our show, but
No, yeah.
she was doing Angel Down, and then they were like, guys, we have to stop the show. And the Chromatica Ball infamously ended on Angel Down, which is a song from Joanne.
A great one,
A great one, but
according to Levi Knife.
yes.
Also, if like you want to have a good laugh at something melodramatic, go watch her Instagram live that she did backstage at the Chromatica ball.
Yeah, because that's where Chromatica Will Never Be Over comes from.
Well, I don't even think that's the funniest thing either. I think the funniest thing is the fans singing Rain on Me.
That's the funniest thing.
While they're like hunkered down, like in like the aisles, and then the huge crack of thunder, and then them all screaming bloody murder.
Rain on me.
me. Like it literally could not have been.
It's the best thing ever.
It's so good.
And then
Like
that
there will
also
never
when-
be enough memes from
Memes about
Chromatica.
Yeah. Because that was also when they were evacuating that show, and then there was a Lady Gaga impersonator, drag queen, at the show.
Oh, I
And then
remember that.
everybody like security at the venue thought that that person was Lady Gaga. So then there's a video of this person being like, "I am not Lady Gaga."
Surrounded by security, everyone screaming
Crazy.
Stephanie at her.
Oh my god, it was so good. Like there's so many good moments. And then someone brought a piece of bread in the pit, and then it was toast by the end of the night. And there's like a funny photo op because
Because of the
because of the pyrotechnics. Yeah.
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 And everyone had cinched eyebrows.
Yeah. So yeah, so legendary. But yeah, that's kind of the spiel about the album and all of that. But I would love to start hearing your guys' thoughts. So, Drew, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So I was never really like fully invested in Lady Gaga. Like she was never like in my top artists or anything like that. Um But I I went to Vegas with my mom the winter break that she was first doing the shows for the Enigma residency. It was like right before Chromatica. And so we went to the show and it was so fun. It was definitely crazy, but it was really fun. And then I was like, okay, I'm invested like for the next Lady Gaga era because I knew she was also returning to form.
What
So I
does
was
she
like,
say? And that she goes like, "Your makeup ain't right."
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking
are
about?
you
That
flipping me
Yep.
off?
Are you flipping me off? Are you saying fuck you to me? Well, you know what? Your makeup ain't right.
your makeup ain't right.
Well, actually, you have house laboratories on, so your makeup is all the
And
way.
then she has everyone in the audience scream fuck you to her
Yeah, and flip her off.
before she sings paparazzi.
Well, and you know that video of her doing, "What the fuck?"
I love
Oh,
I have
oh,
that.
we know.
It's so good.
Um, so yeah,
Oh,
we had a great time at that. And so I was really in anticipation for the new Gaga era, especially because it was going to be dance pop. And then I really ended up loving Stupid Love. And then in the shutdown, um, this was kind of like the first like album release, I think, that really got me back into music after getting sent home. Because we were all in college and then we got sent home. But I will never forget. I probably listened to Rain on Me like 700 times. That first like month and a half that it was released. I think it's my favorite Gaga song of all time. Like I think like it's just so good. It's my favorite like pop collaboration. I just think it's like insanely good on every level. And I also love like because I'm a huge Ariana fan and seeing her in the Chromatica like universe was like so cool. And that music video was so amazing. So I was like really ready after Rain on Me. And then I loved the album when it first came out. Um, was like ready to go to the tour, and then it got shifted so many times. And then like once the tour actually came around, I was kind of like I wasn't over it, but I was definitely like ready for not not for it not to be Chromatic anymore. But then the tour really brought me back to it. I had a decent time. I didn't like love the tour like how everyone else did. I think her tours um kind of lack the concept that I get from like other shows, to be honest. Like she would do her performances and then the interludes would just be the strangest videos of her that don't really flow in concept. Like I remember there was just a video of her doing like a Shakespearean monologue like halfway through the tour.
Well,
Which was like yeah, yeah. But I'm so happy I went, and I also convinced Maria to go the night before. Crazy the Little Monster on the Pop Girlies like wasn't gonna go, but she went.
but
And
yeah, I mean,
I'm so happy I convinced you to go because after the show, I was like, because we had to sit separate, and I was like, I'm gonna go find Maria after because I know it's gonna be impossible to like go and meet somewhere or something. So during Hold My Hand, I went to find her. Literally found Maria, hands on her heart, bawling, crying to hold my hand.
yeah,
And I
I mean,
was
it was
like,
crazy. Yeah, I'll talk more about my Chromatica Ball experience later.
okay. So yeah, it was so fun to like watch Maria like come into a fully formed little monster. So like that's what's made Chromatica so great. But yeah, I really like it. It's when it first came out, I was like, this is my favorite. Like, I love it. And I think a lot of that was because it was like my first kind of time really loving her and having an album come out, like really anticipating her release. Um, but I don't think it's my favorite album by her, but it's definitely like up there for me. I think it's just really fun. And yeah, I'm like I'm trying to think what else I have to say. I think that might be it. Yeah,
Play.
cool.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, the art police.
The art
We're
police
not
are
having
here.
fun tonight.
Mm-mm.
No, we are having fun tonight because so I don't want it to sound like I'm a hater because I really am not a hater, and I really have thought so hard and long about what I wanted to say today. Because first of all, I would like to say that I love Lady Gaga so much, and I always loved Lady Gaga, and I've always been so excited for every single thing she's ever released. I mean, I've been like Lady Gaga's honestly probably like out of like the elite, like the main tier of like pop girls, like she's always probably been just behind Taylor for me. Like I've always loved Gaga. She's always been like in like one of my favorite artists. Obviously not at like the level of like a Taylor or like a Lorde or like a Florence
Florence.
or like a Madonna. Well, now that I've had my Madonna renaissance, but like I've always loved Gaga. I've always loved Gaga. She has some of my favorite music ever, and I just find her such an important cultural figure. So it's been documented before in the podcast that Chromatica is not necessarily my favorite Gaga record. And there are a lot of reasons for that I want to get into. However, I want to say first that I don't think this is a bad album at all. I don't think it's bad. I find it to be a very enjoyable listen. Um, and this is obviously an album that has resonated so much with people. I think this album really hit a nerve for a lot of people, both like Little Monsters and non-Little Monsters. And so I think there's something to be said of that. Like, I think it would be very arrogant of me to sit here and be like, this album didn't really hit for me. Um, I'm right and everybody else is wrong. Like, the Recording Academy is wrong, and the people who made Rain on Me #1 is wrong, and the millions of gay people that love this album and like this album was like very important to them are wrong. Because I know this album is really important to a lot of people. So I think like there's obviously something here and there's something that resonates with people. And there are parts of the album that really resonate with me as well. Um, as a whole, I just don't really think it fully congeals together, and I have reasons for that. But I'm going to start out positive. First of all, I think the aesthetics of this album and the graphic design and the visual look of the album campaign are not only fucking phenomenal, but by far my favorite visual Gaga album. I think this album cover is one of the greatest album covers I've ever seen in my entire
Agreed.
life. I
Whoa.
think the typography, the fonts used, the graphic design of all of the promotional materials and the merch, the
The
album artwork,
vinyl.
the vinyl,
Yeah.
everything about it. I mean, I think the way every single thing is packaged is like mind blowing to me. Like I have Chromatica merch,
Yes.
and like Chromatica is like not my fave,
No.
but I think the merch is so fucking cool
The
looking.
merch is so
It's
good.
amazing. It's amazing. And like you look at like the album artwork, just like look at that photo shoot. I mean, it's some of my favorite Gaga imagery ever. I think that like you know, actually to me, like this to me is like kind of Gaga in her essence because she's weird, she's celestial, she's like beautiful but odd. I mean, it's like her as an alien creature. I mean, Lady Gaga is an alien pop star. Ever since 2008, she's been an alien. She's been somebody sent from, another world, and she has always been the weird one at the table, and that's always been her thing. And I think that like having an album where she's an alien, like it's so obvious that it was like crazy that didn't already exist. And not obvious in a bad way, but just obvious in a, yeah, of course, that makes so much sense. Like, of course, Lady Gaga's going to do an extraterrestrial album. And I just think visually, like, I think it's stunning. I think it's stunning. And that album cover is like, the album cover is amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, I think anybody who says a bad thing about the album cover, like, needs to have their brain investigated by multiple teams of psychologists because it's just, I find it so stunning. And so I think that's also maybe kind of exacerbates some of the problems that I have with the record because I find it so amazing and incredible visually that sonically the actual music doesn't live up to the bar set by the visual terrain that she's created. And I always kind of find that, a little disappointing when like you love something so much visually. Like I would always prefer an album to sound amazing and then like not love the visuals than vice versa. Because like I mean, an album is music and it's an audio experience.
Experience.
Oh, um, and
Visuals really can bring an album down though. Like
they
an album with horrible visuals is like so it's way more frustrating.
see. I think this is more frustrating.
Really?
Yes, because so much of it's so good. It's like I can see the vision that you're going for, but you let Blood Rat come in and infect the music. So
Well, you know
let's
what I'm thinking of with like bad visuals, like
what?
but with such like I'm thinking of Guts.
Yeah,
Like
but
the worst visuals
okay,
ever.
I don't think Guts are the worst visuals ever. You have very strong feelings about
I
Guts.
know. I guess I just get mad more easily. I'm not forgiving.
What are even I've only ever seen the album cover of
He
Guts.
hate. Oh,
Oh,
So
look at every photo shoot she did. There's one of
I
her in like
mean,
the
they're not.
bathtub.
It's not good, but I also don't like the visuals for first album either, which I know you.
Oh, oh yeah, I like the
So
ones
I
from
don't
first.
expect anything visual from Miss Rodrigo.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and because that's the other thing. I mean, Lady Gaga's a visual artist, and so like
Yeah,
this
for sure, for
definitely
sure.
is her bag. But
Definitely different, but that's
it
just what came to mind.
because I don't know. I get what you mean. For me, it's like there's so much greatness here, and I wish that the album sounded as cool as it looks because it looks so fucking cool. And then you have the recycled Euro dance beats that Blood Pop threw at a wall. So let's get into the music. I think there are two kind of main things that I think the album really struggles with. And I don't think it's present in every song because I think there are excellent songs here. But I really, really struggle with the production. I think the production is so generic sounding. I think it's so watered down. And I think there's a reason for this. First of all, she talked a lot. I mean, you can even see on the credits, there are so many producers listed. And I think that, I mean, there's a reason why Maria didn't go through the full fucking list because there's so many producers listed for every single song. And something she talked about in like the interviews leading up to this, I think I'm specifically thinking of her talking about this during the Zane Lowe interview, is that um, she would, so many different people worked in this because they would kind of like treat it like kind of like dance music, how like, you know, they would send it to one producer and a producer would make stuff. And then okay, so this is the vibe now. And then they would send it to another one, and then it would just get passed around by a lot of different hands. I mean that's kind of the reason why the leaks on Chromatica were so prevalent because it just existed in so many people's different computers, and that's why so many of the things that were leaked were so not like what ended up actually on the record. And I find that like collaborative kind of community interesting in theory, and like I respond to that. However, to me, I think what happens a lot sonically is I think there's too many cooks in the kitchen because like I'm kind of always in favor. I love it when an artist just works with like one person on like there's one main collaborator. Um, because I think like so many of my favorite albums were made that way, and I think that you can have so much more like personality and like distinctiveness sonically and in the production choices if like it's just the artist working with like one main collaborator. And, you know, could maybe have like a few like additional collaborators or songwriters, you know, come in on a few songs, but like there's just kind of like one main person that you can like bounce ideas off of and you can like create a distinct personality sonically together. And this album to me doesn't have that. It's like obviously a dance record, but it just is I find it very generic. I find the production very, very generic. And for somebody like Gaga, that's disappointing to me because I always think of Gaga as the pioneer of what's cool and weird. I mean, her entire career, she's always been two steps ahead of the curve. And, you know, obviously, like, I think she was kind of at the forefront of this like dance pop and like specifically kind of like house 90s dance pop kind of resurgence. But I just don't find it particularly interesting sounding. Um, and I think that I wouldn't have as much a problem with the way it sounds if I think the lyrics were better. Because to me, it's like, okay, you're listening to a song, oh, you know, the production isn't working for me, but like, oh, these lyrics are really grabbing me, and like, I think they're really interesting. And I'm not expecting like, you know, singer-songwriter type of lyrics from this kind of music because Gaga does that sometimes, but like that ultimately isn't the kind of lyricist she is. My friend Eric, who's a huge Little Monster, he has kind of defined her best kind of lyrics like this, and I think it's so accurate that she's at her best when she's punchy, to the point, and evocative. When like she's not trying to say too much and like not trying to make something like too grand, but when she's weird, when her lyrics are kind of visceral and hit you and they kind of punch you a little bit. I mean, I think the perfect example of that, like the lyrics to like Bad Romance. Like
Yeah.
those are punchy, they're evocative, they get you. I think Disease has a lot of that. I think the
Hmm.
Disease lyrics are very much in that vein,
Yeah.
in that vein.
Yeah, I would
Um
totally agree with that.
and Chromatica to me, I think you get a little bit of that. Like I think that's prevalent on a song like 911, which is one of my favorite songs in the album. But so much of it sounds like lyrics that are trying to sound like they're saying something, but are a little bit nonsensical. And I get that, and I feel bad because I know that this is an emotional album for her. It's very personal for her. But if I'm just going on what I was given on the lyrics sheet, a lot of the times I'm like, what you're saying really isn't making sense, or it's not as profound as you think that you're saying. A huge offender to me. Oh, girl, let me pull it up.
Oh,
A
she's
huge
pulling up
offender
replay.
a huge fan of me is Free Woman. A lot of what she's
Yeah.
talking about in Free Woman, I'm like, what are we talking about here? So she gets really muddled with her little double negatives on the chorus of, I'm not nothing without a steady hand. Okay, I think I get that. It's because you're saying that, like, you're that if you don't have a steady hand, you're not nothing, but it's kind of phrased in a way that's a little confusing. But then, I'm not nothing unless I know I can. So she's saying that when she knows she can, she is nothing. Because I'm not nothing unless I know I can. So,
So if
because
you know you can, you're nothing.
no, if you know you can, you're nothing. Because if you take out the not, what she's saying is, I'm nothing unless I know I can, which would mean like, I'm only something when I'm confident and I feel good about myself. But what she's
It's
saying
like
is,
that scene in Wicked, the you could care less. You couldn't
yes,
care less.
it literally is that. It literally is that. Because it's like what you're saying is that you are nothing when you're confident in yourself. And this is a female empowerment song. So you are nothing when you're empowered. What does that mean? And then the
Maria is
second,
like fire inside.
I'm so sorry, Maria.
No, I'm not mad.
The second verse, which first of all, the second verse has one of my favorite lyrics in the entire album, which is "This is my dance floor I fought for."
Well, yes.
I think that's the thesis, really, to me, of the
And
record.
it's on
And
our
it's on
Oh,
the
favorite
Scarlet
place,
Wall,
Scarlet.
and I think and that to me is an example of a Gaga lyric because
oh,
that is
awesome.
punchy, it's to the point, it's incredible.
It's on the Scarlet Wall, and
And the
before
receipts.
Scarlet went paperless, it was on the receipts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But then we have to continue. And okay, so light up my body and kiss me too hardly.
Too hardly.
What does too hardly mean? Because she's trying to say, I think too hard, like too fiercely or something. Like there's supposed to be an evocation of like passion or something, but hardly is not the same as hard.
But is it hardly or heartily?
What does Genius say? Genius says hardly.
Okay.
Do you think it's heartily?
It very well could be, but
Heartily.
this isn't.
And kiss me too hardly. I think it's hardly, which I
Yeah.
don't think makes any sense.
I mean, I have believed that
I
in.
mean, even heartily is like, girl, what you saying?
And even heartily is like a soup is hearty.
No,
Like a
not.
hearty
Nah.
soup.
Like Maria's saying Hardily. That's what I'm inferring. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, heartily.
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 Yeah.
No,
A soup is
hardily.
hearty, like Hearty.
Oh, this is awful.
Heartily in a way that shows the strength to bear extreme conditions or difficult situations. Oh, so that's what you're
That's
suggesting.
what I am suggesting it might be.
I'm suggesting that it is hardly, which
Yeah, I'm
doesn't make
suggesting that
sense.
it's not. It's not.
But I love
I love that you ride for her in a way
well,
that
and I just love that you're offering a different perspective on this. I do.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
But for me, that's kind of like a problem I have with a lot of songs is that I don't find them interesting enough sonically for me to like get past the lyrics that don't gel for me. And then on the flip side, I don't find the lyrics to make enough sense for me to get invested in the story and ignore the songs that don't really sound interesting to me. So for a lot of the songs, I'm left with, okay, what are we doing here? But that is to say, I think there are a lot of great songs here. I really do. I mean, Rain on Me is a classic. Rain on Me is one of her classic songs. It really, really is. I have some nitpicks with it that have slowed down over time because of just how incredible that song is in a live environment. Like that song at a club is like there's nothing else. And like I
There's
think I used to
nothing.
not be like the biggest fan of Rain on Me, and then just being exposed to it enough is like, wait, this really does just kind of release something chemical in your body. It is just, I mean,
Mhm.
it's incredible. Um, uh, Babylon to me is like a huge highlight. 911 is a huge highlight. I'm probably the biggest fucking Fun Tonight fan in the universe. Um, I think Alice is really cool. Why do I
At the top
not like
of my
Alice?
Oh, I love
lungs.
Oh, you love
Alice
it.
so much. I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, I think Alice is so cool. And like,
Yeah.
and there's, to me, Alice is also interesting because Alice has a darkness to it sonically
Yes.
that I kind of wish more of the record had.
Yeah.
You
I
know what I
agree with
mean?
I
that.
agree with that. Yeah, a
Because
lot.
it like, it like scratches such an itch in my mind. And like, when she talks about what this record is about for her, to me, the song that matches that the most is Alice.
Right.
You know?
I
Totally.
that.
Um,
Yeah.
and so, like, to me, Alice is a great example of a song that really works. But then there are some songs on here that I just cannot put my hat behind. And then there's some songs to me that are mixed bags. Like, Sign from Above used to be one of my faves on here.
It's a no for me, dog.
Well,
Dog.
there are things that I find great about it, and then there's things that I think just really don't work about it. Chiefly, I love when we respect our legends, and I love when there's a conversation across generations, and I love that there's these two iconic queer music figures in a song together. I'm also against like elder abuse, and I don't think Elton sounds very good on the song. And I think he really kind of gets embarrassed a bit by
It
Gaga.
should have been Celine.
It just he doesn't fit to me this sound. It doesn't
Right.
sound good, his voice on it. And it's like I feel really guilty because I really want to love a Lady Gaga Elton John song. And like I actually think the song is really cool. Like I love the drum and bass breakdown at the end.
Yeah.
I think the lyrics, there's actually one of the only fucking songs to me that I think the lyrics are like excellent.
Oh yeah.
But then he just comes bellowing and I just can't get behind it. It just doesn't work for me.
Now I was gonna say I think
For
it's
the land.
I mean, Glenn could have done it. Glenn could have
right.
done it. They
I
bonded
it
on
should have been Celine.
Celine. That I never even thought about that, but imagine how Celine would have sounded on that. She
Yeah.
would have sounded so good on this song.
I do think it's so crazy that they chose to have Elton feature on the song that has a hyper pop liquid drum and bass outro.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me.
That's so crazy.
Well, because even
But
like
a
even just
thousand doves was right there.
yeah, A Thousand Doves like, to me would have made more sense as like an Elton feature
100%, 100%.
because that's like what he does.
Or
Like
like
that
put him
sound.
on a Target track. Like
Also, speaking of Babylon, did you guys hear the original leak of Babylon when it was supposed to sound like Fame by David Bowie?
Yeah,
It's so good. It's literally
I
so good. It
haven't.
wouldn't have fit on Chromatica at all, but it's so good.
it's very cool. I think I do prefer the what ended up on the
Yeah,
album.
I mean, I think I do too, but because the version on the album is supposed to be like Vogue inspired,
Yeah,
like Madonna Vogue.
which we know how I feel about that.
Yes.
Right. You hate it.
But it's just so to me, like Chromatic is a mixed bag, and like I really don't want to come across from the perspective of a hater because I really am not a hater, and I think I've tried very hard to be like as fair as possible.
Oh yes.
Because there is so much about it that I enjoy, and I enjoy it as a cultural moment. I enjoy it as this kind of like touch point of viral moments. I think that's so incredible. I love when like something transcends, and I think this did in a lot of ways. I think people had a lot of fun with this. Um, in a time that we really needed to have fun. It
Yeah.
just like it's so it's for me, it's like I love pretty much everything about it except the music. And then the music I'm a bit more mixed on. And there's just this feeling of like, I wish that a version of this album existed and it probably does in somewhere in someone's like, Google Drive somewhere where like the the music fits the cool, interesting, weird imagery and world that's built around it. Because there's just a disconnect for me. And like
Yeah.
some of these songs to me feel so streamlined and so watered down. And then like then the album covers what it is. And it's so interesting and you can't stop looking at it. Meanwhile, I don't have a problem pressing pause on a lot of these songs. I'm like, okay, pause. And I'm fine then changing to another song. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how
Well,
I
and don't you guys kind of feel like because it came out obviously a time when no one could go out, and then like we were able to go out like at 21. Like um it was kind of interesting because I feel like maybe if it had come out when it did and COVID didn't happen, like maybe we would have a different kind of response to it because we weren't like going out to clubs and
yeah.
bars like
Yeah.
until 2021 anyway. Like
Yeah, it just would have been interesting in a world where it was released like it was supposed to be released. Because
yeah.
I wonder if like my relationship to it would have changed.
Well, I'm kind of thinking maybe it would have just fizzled out, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe.
know.
It's just I don't know. So they're complicated feelings in this one, but at the end of the day, I love Gaga. Um, I think she's one of the most important artists ever of all time, and there will never be a Lady Gaga album that I'm not perched in the dark for. So, um, yeah, that's my thoughts on Miss Chromatica.
Love. Well, thanks. Well, yay. So I'll go into my thoughts and feelings and everything. But I will say that yeah, like when Chromatica was coming out, I was like fully tapped in, so excited. I like vividly remember watching the Stupid Love video when it came out. And then yeah, obviously COVID happened and I just have I think such a strong relationship and connection to this album because of when it came out, obviously. I mean, COVID was something that we all went through, but I think for me kind of like the like cathartic um element of this album was really helpful for me to just like tap in and listen to some I mean, while she's talking about intense things on this, it's like most of it is happy AF. So it was really lovely for me to just be like, well, it's COVID. We're going through online school. We all got sent home, because that's what we were all occupied with, like for us being in college at the time. And just being able to be like, all right, chugging through school. I'm going to get this done. And then after, I'm going to, take a summer class. I'm going to play a lot of Animal Crossing and I'm going to listen to this album on repeat every single day. And that's what I did for like all of 2020. I also vividly remember my first listen to Chromatica and the experience of listening to Enigma into replay for the first time actually made me cry.
Mm.
It literally made me cry. And I mean, I first started crying at like Enigma because I just love that song so much. And I think that's like also another cool song. Like speaking of Long Live, that just kind of like celebrates the the not I mean not necessarily like the fandom, but like the allure around like Lady Gaga as an artist and how she kind of reflects upon her own celebrity and stardom. So like that I really loved. So that song I just like had a really strong connection with. But um what?
Nothing.
Okay.
But
Oh, everyone just stopped, so I got
oh,
concerned.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, so love, love, love it. Like and like you said before, it's like that's what I needed in that moment.
Mhm.
And I think that for me maybe doesn't diminish the album for me like in a way that's like, okay, well it's not as like gritty or weird or edgy or punchy like a normal Lady Gaga album would be. Because even Joanne, I feel like has some kind of
Oh,
There's more
interesting,
Joanne's
off-kilter
punchy.
moments in Joanne. Yeah.
yeah,
One, just the whole concept of Joanne of, think about everything she'd done prior to that, and then that artist doing a country album. Like even just the
yeah.
conceit is like
Yes. Yeah. Like
is
Sipped itself
is
is
weird.
yeah. So yeah. Um so I think though that like because that is what I need in that moment, like the intense joy of Chromatica for most of it, as far as like the sonic value, really helped me with COVID and not being able to like experience things. Because, like Drew said, we also turned 21 during COVID. But then by the time we kind of got to resume normal life, it was again, Chromatica had another celebratory moment because it was like, oh, cool, normalcy again. And then
It was
we
the
got to
dance
go
floor we
out.
fought
It
for.
was the dance floor we fought for. And then we actually got to go out to clubs and bars and experience these songs in the
Well, and
space.
everyone was so hungry to play Chromatica too, and
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like it kind of like it maybe wouldn't have had as long of a life if COVID
Yeah.
wouldn't. I mean, obviously it wouldn't have, but just kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah. So that's why like this has so much like connection for me and yeah, there's just so many multiple different moments where it gets like re-celebrated, which I just love. And like obviously this year it had a big moment because like the movie came out of the film and I was so glad we got to experience the Chromatica Ball again because Chromatica Ball was my first time ever seeing Gaga. I know we've talked about it a bit before, but yeah, I wasn't gonna go at first because I mean the tickets went on sale before COVID happened, right, Drew?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had a ticket. Yeah.
yeah,
Alex had a ticket and his sister sold it. She got it for him as a present and then she sold it.
Oh dang. Well, Drew had a ticket, and then yeah, I never gotten a ticket because like, well, I don't know.
It
I
was
guess I
just
was
so unpredictable to like know. And
yeah, so
then I was trying to get you to go like the whole summer. And then you were like, no, I don't know. Like it's so expensive. And then the night before they like released, I guess they had like a block of tickets that they were holding that they didn't sell yet. And then they
yeah.
came out.
Yeah, because it's like Gaga for me just had this thing of like, well, she's like my favorite artist ever. Like, like, am I ever gonna get to like see her? Like, I just felt like seeing her live would have just like it would have been impossible. So I was like, oh, I shouldn't even try to get a ticket. Like, I'm gonna get disappointed because tickets are gonna be too expensive or I'm not gonna be able to go, whatever. So I just like always thought it was never going to happen. So then luckily Drew like kept pushing me to try and go and see if there were more tickets. And then yeah, because it was at Wrigley Field, you have to get those tickets on the MLB website. And like it was like midnight the night before, and they randomly released tickets, and I was able to get one for an extremely reasonable price. So for that, very grateful. But I loved the Chromatica Ball so much. And again, kind of speaking of what we mentioned before of like the beginning of the era visually is very different from the end of the era. And then again, I think that has to do with a lot of things that we don't exactly know yet about what the LG7 era is going to entail. But like I love the visuals of it. I love the interludes so much. I love how kooky and weird they are. All of the looks from the Chromatic Ball, I love so much. The visuals, everything. Like, I love it so much. The one thing that's disappointing is like I wish it wasn't at baseball stadiums. I wish it was at a football stadium. Would have been harder to get to for us, but like for the for the connection to the audience, I wish it was at a more intimate stadium where it's not the stage isn't so far away from like most of everybody. So had an incredible experience at the Chromatic Ball. I first started crying when she started singing Edge of Glory. That was like the first moment where I was like, this, I'm holding space. This is an intense moment right now. So that for me was like everything. Um, but yeah, as far as like the actual songs and everything, like Levi, I totally get your perspective on it. Because like I think everything you're saying is true. For my relationship with this album, and again, like with the multiple renaissances it has had and like the era that it came out in, for me, it's like me, I don't think I'm asking for this album to be like a traditional Lady Gaga album, at least for my experience with it, because of like my very strong memories with when it first came out. So I totally get what you're saying. And like, yeah, some of the lyrics on this are clunky, but it's not something where I'm like, hmm. I don't know. I mean, I totally get it, but also if you think about it, Gaga started her career with lyrics like, I mean, there's love it when you call me legs in the morning, buy me eggs. Like some of them are kooky crazy. So
I
I
love
get
the
it.
kooky crazy. To me, it's like there's a camp quality to those, and like
Right.
there's a charm
Right,
to
right, right, right,
those. Like, it's also
right.
to me, it's like there's so much personality in those lyrics,
Yeah.
and some of these ones, I'm like, what, what,
Yeah.
what's going on?
It is just kind of filling space a little bit.
They're not holding space, filling space.
Filling.
But it sucks because it's only on like it's kind of what you're saying. Like it's only on a few of the songs, and then there are just really high highs for me on it.
Yes, I mean there are hugely high highs, but I also
Yes.
completely understand what you mean. And then also like, you know, relationship to music is does absolutely like
Yeah.
impact, our thoughts on it kind of more objectively.
Yeah.
And it completely makes sense. Like this album has meant so much to you in so many different ways in different moments that like it would make sense to you that like it doesn't need to give you the things that like other things have given you.
Yeah.
Right.
Where
Yes.
like I don't have that kind of emotional connection to me to like
Yeah.
for my brain to make sense of some of the stuff that doesn't quite click,
Yes.
if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
For sure. For sure.
For sharks.
For sharks. Yes. Well, a couple other things that I wanted to mention too that I just like about the entire experience is I really enjoy that in Rain on Me. It's like one of the only like Ariana Grande duets where she takes the lower melody.
Yes, very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Love that. Um and Replay is so cool. There's like a couple different videos that are like dissecting the construction of the song, and it's so cool that and I didn't know this for the longest time that the sample in Replay is "It's My House" by Diana Ross, and like the entire song is
Is
constructed
that
around
It's
it.
My House and I Live Here?
Yes.
You mean the song that Laura Dern lip syncs to in the first episode of season 2 of Big Little Lies, which is one of my favorite GIFs ever when she goes, "It's my house and I live here." It's very good.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. And it's like I mean,
Count on if you ever need to know a sample, like a sample that you can't even hear, just like text Maria.
yes.
Well, funnily enough, if we're gonna make another connection, Ariana Grande, who is, a friend of Chromatica, as we've discussed,
Mhm.
has an also a very great Diana Ross sample on her second album, My Everything, one of my favorite Ariana Grande songs, and Break Your Heart Right Back, which is about um
I'm coming out.
yes, because it's about dating a man who's cheating on you with a man.
Yeah.
And she samples I'm Coming Out, the gay classic by Diana Ross, which is very good, Ariana. Very good. Oh,
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 love. But yeah, I think that's everything though that I wanted to say, but I love
oh,
Chromatica.
Long live Chromatica. It's
Long
never
live
over.
Chromatica.
long live Chromatica.
Now I feel like we can say long live Chromatica.
Long live heartily Chromatica.
Yes. What I was going to say is I feel like we can now say long live Chromatica era without jinxing it and extending it by another year.
Well,
Because
the album's not out.
It's already
Or no.
over. It's already over. Disease is
well,
disease is
that's why I said that.
That's why
That's
that's
what
what
I'm
Maria
saying.
was saying.
oh, got it. Sorry, I thought you meant like let's not jinx it.
No,
Yeah.
Maria was saying that we can't jinx it now. Like it's
Oh, okay,
impossible.
Like
okay.
it's done. Yeah. All right.
I
So
thought you were saying like guys, okay, like let's be careful. Let's not jinx
I
it
get
again.
I get what you're saying.
okay. Okay, sure.
Okay, for sharks. Well, I think we should get into our Holy Trinities, our top 3 songs, and our me's, our
Okay, as
least
the
favorite
Chromatica
songs.
ambassador to Pop Girlies Nation, how are you going to have this? How do you want us to do it?
I say let's go in the same order. So let's start with Drew.
And or is he
Should
doing
I
both?
do me and
Um, let's
should I just do
just do
both?
our me's. Let's just do our me's, and then let's do our Holy Trinities.
My me is Free Woman.
Whoa.
Production um and lyrics. It's just a skip for me.
Also kind of melody.
Yeah, I mean it's just like it's kind of what Levi was getting at. It's to me it feels a lot of the songs have personality to me. Like even the songs that I don't necessarily resonate with, but this one I'm just like, okay, like she was really just trying to make like a pop song, you know? So, yeah, unfortunately that one is my me.
I'm
Gotcha.
really scared to say what my me is because I
I
know
know what it is.
You should not be as scared as me being scared to say my me was Florida last week. So
I oh, so basically what you're telling me is my feelings are not valid and I'm stupid.
no, I'm saying I was so horrified last week that whatever I was feeling last week is more intense than what you're feeling right now.
I mean, I don't doubt that. It's more just like
I'm
I
kidding.
know
I'm
that
kidding.
I'm probably the only person who thinks this. And I'm not saying that in a way to like, oh, I'm so different, but like, I know the song is huge for Lady Gaga people. Like, monsters love this song. And I want to say for the record that I've tried. I have tried so hard to see the vision because I know there's a vision that exists. People see the vision. Sonically, eh, it's like it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I don't like the way any of it sounds because it's not even like because Free Woman is pretty close to my bottom as well. And there was a version I was like, maybe do I just do Free Woman? But Free Woman I can listen to. Like I can listen to it and like enjoy it in, certain aspects. And I have tried so hard with the song. I don't like the song lyrically. I don't like it production sonically. I don't like the melody of it. I don't like how she sings it. I just when it comes on, like when it comes on with Scarlett, I go to the bathroom every single time. And it's like a
Just
huge
say
fan
it.
favorite. It's replay. It's that's my me play.
It,
Levi, you just had the thing with replay because I was in your same boat. Hearing replay live, it changed it for me.
Maybe if I had gone to Chromatica, but they
So,
didn't want me to. They forgot to come and get me. They tried to send me away to Chromatica, and they forgot to come.
so Alex Oishi, you're shitting on me for LOML.
Girl, LOML. I mean, I'm biased because
Girl, yeah, replay though. Replay on Chromatica.
I have tried. I have tried. You haven't tried with it
See,
in a while.
I have tried,
I don't
and you
believe you.
said that I tried on the last episode.
Well, I was lying.
Roll the
Sorry.
tapes.
I was lying. I mean, I
You
was.
go, yeah, you have listened to it a lot.
Well, I was just trying to be nice because I was accused of like promoting violence against people last time, so I was trying
Right.
to be congenial. No, replay, I just don't get it. And I want to. I'm not being a hater because I really, really want to get it. I really want to be like, yes, I love it. Give it to me
If
more.
you would have seen it live and seen her become manic, I think you would have liked it a little more.
You didn't feel anything flutter in your heart when you saw the Chromatica Ball film at Scarlet?
No, it wasn't filmed properly.
Oh, okay.
Because the one
I
in
felt no flutter.
Chicago was different. The
There's
one in Chicago was way better than any of the other ones. When she screamed, "Come on, motherfuckers, let's replay!" Like, come on.
It was the
And the
best
fact she didn't do that
because it's
in.
like for you, like, is that the highlight performance for you?
of the entire Chromatic Ball.
Yeah,
Oh, it
Um,
because
was the highlight for me.
I know for a lot of people it is.
it's I would have to think about it harder, but yeah, I mean, because that was also my first time seeing a ton of iconic Lady Gaga songs for the first time.
Yeah,
But the performance, though, I think that has some of the most like really stunning choreography in the whole thing.
Yes.
yeah. The
So yeah,
the choreography is
It
cool, and
like
like I think that honestly is maybe the most iconic performance. I feel like that performance is what I think of when I that outfit and all of that is what I
yeah,
think of when I think of
it's so
Chromatica.
good. Yeah.
I have tried so hard. Nothing about it appeals to me.
yeah.
So
It's
that
seeing it live. You'll never get it because you missed the Chromatica
the
ball.
scars on my mind are on me play. That's
Yeah,
all I have to
yeah.
say.
Well, it
Wait,
takes
Maria, what's yours?
okay. Well, I was just gonna say, because you know what you like and you're very confident, you know what you're talking about, so I know you're not just a hater. So
I thank you.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Exactly. So my me for Chromatica. It's probably the song I just visit the least. But it's gonna be 1,000 Doves.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
That's
makes sense.
that's
That's
like
fair.
really the only one that I'm like,
I
oh,
had a
oh,
It's there. It's just there for
yes,
you.
it's just there. Yeah.
I had a moment with it re-listening to it for the episode actually. So it was probably like bottom three, and now it's like bottom five. So
That's another song lyrically. I don't always know where it's happening.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know why she's talking about doves, to be honest.
All of it's a little baffling to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't really get where we are.
Right.
who
she sounds amazing though, doesn't she? On that,
Sounds
well,
really
and the
great.
piano version is really I love
yeah,
what she sounds in the
Right.
piano demo.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing is, though, with the lyrics for this, like, I some of the because I've listened to Chromatica so much, sometimes listening to this album is like it's like brushing my teeth, where it's like, yep, that's what she's saying. And it's like so not like autopilot, but it's like, yes, these were like the lyrics and like even the weird kooky clunkety whatevers are like etched into my brain because I've listened to this so much. So
yeah.
my like little monster blinders are up so hard with lyrics here because I've listened to this 10
Yeah.
million times. So there's that.
Yeah, like
When I feel like we
I feel
aren't
like
lyric
the
nuts in the
meaning.
way that Levi is.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I agree. Because I think that
Like,
you've talked
yeah.
about how like you enter a song more sonically,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
Well, and we weren't listening to Chromatica for the first time looking at the lyrics. At least I wasn't.
And you
Like
know
I
that's
was
how I.
listening to it with my over-ear headphones, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that song to me has always been. That's also towards the bottom for me as well.
Yeah.
Both of yours actually are. So I guess I'm the oddball.
Oh.
Well, Drew.
Top three, my Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
So my number three is Babylon. And it was my number one when the album first came out, so it's kind of crazy. It's now my number three, but so good.
So good.
Number two is Alice, which I also think was enhanced by the Chromatica Ball experience. Her screaming at the top of my lungs.
Hey, can
The
I ask
lyric,
you a question, Drew?
my
Is your
name is an Alice.
but are you still looking for Wonderland?
I am. I am.
I am.
I am.
And then my number one, the best pop club of all time, It's Rain on Me. Hands up to the
What?
sky.
That's a good top
MTV.
three.
MTV.
Oh my God, in the MTV performance or the VMA performance rather that year.
Yeah.
It was also COVID.
Yeah, that's a good top three, Drew.
Lovely.
Thanks.
My three is also Babylon, and that's a new addition.
Stir it up.
That wasn't always the case.
Yes.
But Babylon it's incredible. It's an incredible closer. It's so catchy. And that to me is an example of like there are some cuckoo buku things happening in the verses lyrically, but they work because they're weird in a fun way and not in a way that it's like, what are you talking about? Um it's and I love like the kind of like the house of it all and the gospel-y kind of aspect in the end of the album. Like it feels like we've definitely landed at a different place than we started. And I love albums like that, where
Yeah.
like, you know, the journey kind of from Alice
It's the part that you remember anyways.
to what?
The Miley Cyrus thing, the journey is the part that you remember anyways. You've
Where's
never heard of that?
where's that from?
It's a quote that okay, forget it.
I don't think anyone knows that.
Literally, Maria,
I
nobody
literally
has
hate
ever
Miley Cyrus the most out of all of us, and I'm the only one that knows.
You hate Miley Cyrus?
I mean, okay, hate's a strong word, but I haven't liked anything she's put out recently.
What's defined recently?
She
Wow.
hated plastic cards.
You're like, how could you do this to me? Question mark.
How could you do this to me?
Really?
I like
What do you hate more, the Tortured Poets Department as a name or Plastic Hearts as an album cover?
Plastic Hearts as an album.
Oh, I mean, the album cover's bad.
It's bad.
The album cover's bad. But the album is so good. That kind of surprises me. I would think that you'd really like that. Not for you.
I liked the Give Me What I Want, the 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah. You sound. I bet she loves Dead Pets. Are you a Dead Pets girl?
I don't think she's listened.
God, there's I don't think I've ever heard the whole thing, but like
Maria
yes.
is so. What does it mean? What does it mean? That is so you to me.
Oh my God. And Do It. I love Do It.
Is he sleeping?
Oh no, he's awake.
He just woke up. My
Wait,
boyfriend.
Maria,
It looked like he was sleeping the second I said that. His eyes
Yeah.
opened. Scary.
Oh.
Oh, I still have to finish. Did I say my two? No, I didn't say my two. My two is 911.
Yeah.
okay.
911 to me has always been that girl. I kind of
Yeah.
think that's the heart of the album. Like that to me is Chromatica. Like that is what Chromatica is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's so fucking cool. That's also my favorite video from the era. I love the 911 video.
Oh.
It's very cool.
It is excellent.
Yes.
And then my number one, I know that this is weird, but this really is just like it's the most Levi Bait song on the album. And I love a sad dance song. I love a sad dance song. And it's
Are you being bored tomorrow?
it's bored tomorrow. I'm having fun tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not having girl, I'm not having fun tonight is me recording this really fun podcast with incredible kidney stone pain at the moment.
Levi's a warrior right now.
Yeah, if there's ever, for all of our listeners, if there's ever a period where I haven't been talking, it's probably because I've been going to the bathroom because I'm drinking 92 gallons of water. And it is flowing through me like lava and no stone has moved. So it's really wonderful over here.
I would also like to clarify real quick that we did not force Levi to continue recording this episode.
No, they didn't. They didn't. There was no forcery happening. I'm dedicated to my Pop
We're
Girlies.
voluntarily doing this.
Well, yeah,
so-
because if we hadn't done this, then the episode would have had been delayed, and I can't disappoint our
Yeah.
74 Instagram
we
followers like
can't do
that.
the riots in the street anymore for uploading late.
We can't, no, because people were
Oh
really
my
mad
God,
about
because
it.
I fumbled the bag last
For
time.
5 minutes.
It was more than 5 minutes.
Oh.
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
but
it was a few hours, but that's okay. That's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
They
So-
only know because we just said too.
Yeah, so they actually probably a lot of people.
There are probably like 4 people that listen from the hours of 5 a.m. to
The
8 a.m.
unprofessionalism.
Yeah, that far
Far
too
too
much.
much.
Far too much.
So yeah, that's my top 3.
Maria.
Love. Okay. So my top 3 is going to be 911,
Is your third?
third, 911, 2, Alice, and number 1 is Miss Replay.
Oh,
Another moment. It's
Yep.
always with Levi.
it is always with me because it's Shanti.
It's always your least favorite. Is
It's-
someone else's
Yeah, has my
number one.
has my number 1 ever been somebody else's me?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It's always your least favorite if someone else's number
What is the
one.
other one that this happened to? This happened.
Shanti.
No, Shanti. I think there was another one though, wasn't there?
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I'm
I don't know.
buku.
Well, wait, where was Florida for TTPD?
Florida was on number 4, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it was in the top 3.
Right. Well, yes. But yeah, that's my top 3.
amazing.
Thank you for
what even is
accepting
there
me
to say?
and looking past my flaws as a
Absolutely.
replay hater.
But it's like when you say that you've tried, and it's like, yes, I believe
Maria,
you.
I can't tell you how many times
I
I've listened to that
believe
song,
you.
being like, "This is the time I'm gonna get it," and then
Keep listening to the studio version multiple times does not help from experience.
so
You
there's
have to
time
see it
travel back
live.
in time to go to the
Yes,
Chromatica ball.
you have to.
Okay.
And the movie didn't even do it enough justice because the Chicago show the replay at the Chicago one was so much better than all the other ones.
Yeah, it was literally the best one because trust, I saw every version of Replay from the entire Chromatical tour. But I was-
Chromatica tour. Why don't you
Ball.
rewind?
Yeah,
Okay.
Chromatic Ball. I get it. Literally though, with Levi, I would say you should watch the HBO Chromatic Ball film, but with headphones on because you get the extra arrangements of songs that were in the live versions that aren't in the studio versions.
I might like that more
And
than
there's actual like orchestral bits in the Replay live version of like violin stings and all this other extra stuff that's like buried underneath the production that isn't in the studio version at all. So I
And
would say-
only Maria knows this.
well, yes. I mean, there's a lot of that throughout the entire.
yeah, she's a
set.
Chromatica historian. She studied the ancient civilization of Chromatica and is here to teach us all.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm the.
Do you think Chromatica's pagan, or do you think there's a religion on Chromatica? Like, I kind of think they're pagans. Like, do you think they sacrifice people?
Well, I think there's. I mean, I don't know about that, but maybe I think there's some sort of religious affiliation with the sine curve.
With the sine curve.
So-
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I bet
So
you're
if
right.
there was a religion to follow,
I just want to know about, I guess I want to know about like the anthropology of
Also,
yeah.
was it the Zane Lowe interview where she went on like a 2-hour long tangent about how Chromatica is about colors?
yes.
See,
That
that's-
interview is crazy. She
It's
also looks
crazy.
so
She looks
crazy.
insane.
Crazy. She's wearing a shake and go Party City wig.
She's wearing the greatest wig.
She looks so crazy.
She looks insane in that
It's
interview.
awesome.
And in the what's it called? Like the thumbnail. In the thumbnail of the video, it's so funny. She's like
She's
so
so-
angry.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, and maybe this is something worth exploring, is that she infamously met her fiance, Michael, for the first time when she had pink hair. So I'm like kind of curious if that has anything.
Is she gonna bring it back?
Well, no, that's what I'm curious if like how influential pink is for the Chromatica aesthetic. I'm like, I low-key wonder if that has anything to do with it, especially because like I think we can infer that Stupid Love is about her and Michael's relationship because they started dating
Oh.
before Chromatica. I mean, I
Oh,
would've-
I didn't know they were together that long.
yeah, they've been together for a while.
Oh, okay.
2019? Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't realize they were together
It would
that
have been
long.
2019 because she broke up with her previous fiance like right during award season for Christian, I think was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think they broke up like right after the Globes because he went to the Globes with her, but then he didn't end up at the Oscars with her. Her sister went.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, but But yeah. So yeah. What
The
else we got?
utensils.
Oh yeah, the
Utensils.
utensils.
Okay. Okay, Drew. Your prongs of wisdom. What are they gonna say for Drew Fork?
I'm giving Chromatica 8.4.
8.4. Would you like to expand on that at all, or leave it at that?
I think I think all of my explaining from the episode, I think, contributes to that. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna stick with it.
Okay, Maria, your spoonful of information.
Yes, I am going to say,
I'm actually really curious what you're gonna
I
say.
am too.
Because I also don't know where this album lands for you in Gaga albums.
see, I have a really hard time ranking Gaga albums because uh, it's just I've
Joanne
such a
last.
Joanne last. Other than that, I have such a hard time. Literally such a hard time. But I mean, like Chromatica for me is such a staple. I mean, it's like been such a huge album for me for like I mean, it's like we're at half a decade almost of Chromatica and it's like yeah.
It's still Chromatica.
Yeah, it's still Chromatica. So
Yeah.
I'm saying 9.6.
Over Art Pop. That's a higher score than you gave Art Pop.
Wait, are you serious? Oh
Dang, I wish you could see Maria's face
You
when
gave
you
Art Pop
said
a
that.
9.5.
Chromatica, I love you, but it's actually gonna be a 9.4 after that. Okay, sorry for being so wishy-washy.
Oh, I wish we could see Maria's face when you said that.
Well, we have a video. This records a
rec-
video,
So
so
yeah.
we can go
We
back
have
and
to
watch
gift
it.
that so bad.
Yeah,
She
Maria,
literally wrote,
your soul left your body.
So okay, so like yeah, okay, everything I said about Chromatica is still true, but like art pop is art pop.
I kind of, but I also
I'm
think that
surprised your art pop isn't
I think your
higher.
Art Pop actually score maybe should have been a bit higher
Yeah.
because I think you were a bit conservative with.
Well, but we can't change it. It's
But we can't
cemented.
change it. I mean, the ancient magic has already been written. You can't go back and change it.
Right.
All of our ratings, so when they're building the Pop Girlies Stadium, as the Shanties know, and all of our ratings are cemented
Oh
outside of the
yeah,
stadium.
yeah they are. Yeah they are.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's our version of like the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, and like the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Every album with an average of 9.5 or higher will be erected into
I
the
actually
It gets etched into marble.
I think there's only two albums with an average of. I was just looking at them actually. There's I think only two albums with an average of 9.5 and higher so far.
Renaissance and Folklore.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Correct.
Whoa.
Yeah. Folklore has the highest rating on the highest average rating because I tanked the Renaissance one. Um Folklore has 9.7 and then Renaissance has 9.6, but very close.
Wow. Well, Levi, what's your
Wait, Levi, yeah.
Um I've really been I really don't I've really been back and forth about this. I'm gonna give it a 7. A solid 7.
Okay.
I don't think I can go any lower than that because there are too many songs that I really, really like to love that I don't think I would with an album in the sixes. But then I have so many like problems that aren't just like nitpick things, but are like big overarching problems with the album that I can't like justify giving it higher than that.
Yeah.
So 7 to me is
That seems fair.
That is very fair.
I think it's fair for my feelings
Yeah.
about it.
Totally.
And I think I don't think it's like a mean score.
No.
Because I mean, it's like I kind of view things a similar way, like when I'm rating movies on Letterboxd, where it's like if I give something a 3 or like 3 stars or over, like 3 stars is the litmus of like I liked it, and then
Yeah, like it's not what I listen to. Like I listen
Yeah.
like I enjoy listening to it.
Yeah.
It pales in comparison to me to almost everything else that she's done.
yes, well yes,
That's fair.
Yeah. So okay, our average rating for Pop Girlies for Chromatica is 8.2. This is interesting. All three of us are in a different number
Number.
bracket because Maria's in the nines, you're in the eights, and I'm in the sevens. This has happened a few other times. This has happened in Ray of Light because somebody was as outer saboteur. This happened in Blessed Unrest. This happened in Harlequin. This happened with 143.
I tanked Harlequin.
You
Girl
tanked
tank.
Harlequin. You tanked Harlequin. Yeah, you
I
did.
stand by it. Fuck the
Ray of
Saints.
Light would have had a really high average if it wasn't for you, though, because
What did I
I-
give it? Like a
I gave
7
it a
point
10,
something?
and Maria gave it a 9.3, and you gave it a 7.2.
Yeah. I stand
That-
by that.
That's so crazy.
Honestly, if Shanti were 10 minutes long, 9.5.
But yeah, so that's where we are on Miss Chromatica.
Yes. Thank you, kindness punks and government officials and eco warriors for coming on the journey with us. And
Nobody else though. Fuck the freedom
the other
fighters.
tribes, I don't know. I've never met someone from any other tribe, so I can't really speak to that.
We'll find them.
Junkyard. I think Alex is such a junkyard scavenger. I know I called him a cyber kid earlier, but I'm looking at him right
No,
now.
he's such a cyber kid.
No, look at him, Maria. You scavenge in the junkyard.
Well, for the sequel of this episode, we'll have to have Alex join us
For
because
Dawn of Chromatica, he is noted Dawn of Chromatica enthusiast.
When tickets go on sale for the tour, you're gonna have to. It's going to ask you what tribe you're in, and that's seating arrangement.
That's the seating arrangements. Wait, is there segregation in the Pop Girlies
oh
store?
my
It's
god.
like Divergent. It's like Divergent with the faction.
So segregation.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Awful.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Well,
Okay.
No, everyone is
so-
welcome at the Pop Girlies tour, and you can
Yeah.
mingle with whoever because we love
Obviously.
everyone. Everyone,
Obviously.
right?
And you can also sit wherever.
Sit wherever you want.
Sit wherever.
There's no police.
Assigned seats.
There's no
either.
art police.
There's no art. The art police are not to be found.
No,
Never.
none of that.
Okay, do you want me to say what we're doing
hey,
next
Maria,
week?
should we have Drew tell us what's happening next week?
Drew should tell us what's happening next.
Drew, what's happening?
Okay, so we kind of have indirectly like ended the year with our Pop Girls. So I thought it would be fun to follow suit and do the best album by my Pop Girl. So next week we're gonna do Teenage Dream by Miss Catherine Hudson.
Yay!
You
Yep.
make me.
Feel like I'm living up.
So yeah, you better not go in the 7 range because I will throw a fit.
We better not what?
You better not give that a 7 because I will throw a fucking fit.
Yeah, I know, Drew. I'm terrified for what's about to happen.
Yeah,
I feel
well, you
like
should
anything
be.
I say is not going to be good enough.
I know. I get mad. So
Yeah, I know. You're crazy.
honestly, this might be a real fun episode if you're interested in some comedy next week.
Oh yeah. Well, I think
Comedy. Meanwhile, it's me and Maria crying on Zoom.
torture.
It's torture. We are the tortured poets. Like it or not, you're in the department, babes.
Well, okay. So as something to look forward to, though, I think my favorite Katy Perry song is on Teenage Dream.
Peacock?
I don't know.
If
What?
it's Peacock, you're getting evicted from the podcast. I can't.
No,
stand.
stop, Levi.
If someone's favorite Katy Perry song is Peacock,
think it
that is
is.
cuckoo. Who's it? Wait, is it really? Maria. Oh my god.
Okay, we're tabling this for next week. Table it for next week.
Maria, that's mental institution. That is
Okay, Levi, after we're done, you have to find the gif of Maria finding out art pop. Because we have to post that for the Pop Girlie. So, if you're listening and you made it to the end, we love you and go get ready for that gif.
Yes, and also remember, to whatever platform you're listening to us on, rate us 5 stars if you haven't already, and leave a review and follow us and comment on the Instagram post because we love you.
But kind of only leave a review if it's positive. I'm
Yeah.
not in the mood to hear any negative critiques.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But nobody could have any negative critiques because this is the greatest podcast in the world.
Yes.
So
Right.
really,
Las Culturistas, they're quitting.
they're nowhere to be found.
Yep. Okay. Well,
Okay.
all right.
Great.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go not have fun tonight.
Because we're going to the ER.
I'm literally gonna be going to the ER probably. Urgent care ER, but things are not looking good. So probably the ER. Rocket number 9
Take off
I'm gonna go rain.
on you.
No, I'm just gonna go rain.
Hmm.
That's a great Madonna song.
That's like my mom when she's comparing something to rain on me and she goes, "It ain't no rain."
Okay, what
I'm
do
gonna
you
go rain? I'm gonna go scream at the top of my lungs.
screaming at the top of my lungs?
All right, bye.
Bye.
Shanti.
Wait, shit. Bye.